10 things that will make your model railroad layout boring. Number one, a helix. Helixes aren't realistic. I didn't do a helix on my layout. I did a hill, and it's really challenging. Make sure your power has the same speed and you have enough power and distributed it throughout the train. It's kind of fun. Sometimes it's not fun when it doesn't work out, but it's challenging, gives me something to do, makes it interesting. And then number two, point to point. When I built this layout, my son was living here. He was young, and kids love running trains around and around. I have 3 loops on this layout. I can run 3 trains around and around, and if you watch them carefully, you can put 2 trains on each loop because there's like almost 7 miles. But you have to have enough people to watch them and make sure you don't have any accidents. So a point to point, kind of boring. You go from one place to another. You have to disassemble the train, and then you put it back together. You can do that with a loop. I have this one right here is under construction now. I'm adding to this one, but I have basically 3 rail yards, 3 different levels. The rail yard there, top level, and the bottom level. Here's another rail yard, and then the medium level up there against that wall. And then the other thing is not having enough industry, few industries. I see a lot of people that have nice scenery. They go from one place to another on their layout, but they don't have any places to stop. Kind of boring, okay? Maybe it looks nice, but it's kind of boring when you're just running your train from here to there and there's no place to stop, no place to drop off freight cars. I did as much as I could. Like up here on this Montana Rail Link branch line, I have a lot of sidings, and I know they're close together. And my goal is to have some industries along the wall there, kind of like this one here. I didn't build this one. I got this one with some track. But an industry up against the wall, because there's not much room, gives you lots of places to drop off freight and pick up freight. And then number 4, lack of diverse power. Oh my gosh, if you guys are running like a railroad, every other locos are one color, UP. You can get a few heritage units, NS, a few heritage units, but gee whiz. After the BNSF merger, there were so many different types of locomotives and so many different colors. I never get bored putting together consist. All right, and the other thing, I see a lot of guys doing this on YouTube. They have really tight radiuses. Not a good idea if you want to run long trains. It doesn't matter if there's no incline there or not. It's still, you're going to have trouble running long trains when you have a tight radius. I have a few tight radiuses, and I didn't have any choice. Over here, when I put this Montana Rail Link branch line in, this was an add-on. My layout's 25 years old, and I did this Montana Rail Link branch line 5 years ago. And this is a tight radius. I can't run big locos through here. It has to be an SD40 or smaller, just because of the tight radius. And then if I'm bringing up a long train, I got to make sure it doesn't string line, or even going downhill, because model freight cars don't have brakes. They puts a lot of weight on it, and they pops off freight cars off the track. So you got to watch your radiuses. Having a room that's too small, no room for expansion. This is my latest expansion here, and after that, I think I'm done expanding in this room. But I did build another basement on the side of this basement, and I do have plans for future expansion. Going through the wall into the other room, there's going to be a CP, Yoho National Park, CP spiral tunnels is what my plan was if I live long enough to do it. Right now I'm currently working on this. This right here, it was supposed to be a barge coming in right here, and I already have my tugboat, and I was going to set my barges on this, and I thought, well, if I wanted to go to another location, I could come over here and have another barge terminal here and drop off to it. So I have a lot of plans, things I can do. I never get bored. And people that have shelf layouts, well, shelves are for books. I don't know how you could be interested constantly with such a small layout like that. Okay, number 7, poor quality power. Majority of my locos are Katos, Proto 2000s, Athearn. I do have a few ready to roll, but just because I needed a GP40X and Athearn was the only one that had one. RTR is basically a blue box, but it has plastic handrails and it has grab irons, but essentially the chassis is a blue box. So I have a couple of those, but other than that, most of my locomotives are high quality. I don't have any with sound. I'm not into sound, so I'm not buying scale trains. I'm not buying Bowser. I'm not buying Rapido. I have the older high quality locomotives, okay, and they're cheaper. I don't spend a lot of money on my locomotives. That's why I have, I don't know, about 260 right now. See these right here, my son's locomotives. See all the Katos, okay? At the time when those were made, those were the top of the line. And I don't care about the new stuff anymore. I tried Broadway Limited with the first locomotive I bought with sound was Broadway Limited. I bought that 25 years ago. I paid $200 for it on sale. I wasn't impressed with the quality. Never bought another one. I was never impressed with the sound, so that's why I don't really do sound. It's too expensive, and you don't get a good quality locomotive just because you're buying sound. All right, and then you guys that are still running DC, oh my God. There's a few people that are still running DC. I don't know how you can... you must have a lot of switches turning off tracks here and there to store locomotives, but DCC is the way to go. And then I see a lot of guys doing single track on their layout. That's got to be boring, you know. Here's a double track. I have double track mainline. I have train meets all the time. If you want to do, long sidings and such, you can spend time parking trains and getting a train run by. That's kind of fun, but I went ahead and did the double track mainline and my third track over here, so I have 3 loops. It's a short line, so basically I did that so I could just run trains and let them go because my son was here. And then no scenery. You don't have ballast on your tracks. A lot of guys putting videos on YouTube with no ballast on their tracks, and they're putting money into sound locomotives. Why not finish your layout, make it look real before you start putting a locomotive with sound on there? It doesn't look real. There's no point in having a locomotive with sound. I don't have a lot of scenery. I started it years ago, then I got involved with custom locomotives, and I can always go back to it. I'm not good at it, basically. So I wasn't impressed with what I did, so I quit doing it. I need to watch some more videos, and there's a lot of guys on YouTube that are really good at it. So there's a lot of people that could teach me how to do it better. So basically that's the 10 things that make a layout boring. All right, thank you.